Recap video. This would be for Bridgetown, Barbados. This would have been Wednesday, so getting towards the halfway point of the cruise. Nothing like super eventful to really recap. Honestly, it was a pretty chill day. Kind of like normal. We always went to the Haven restaurant for breakfast. It just became kind of our thing to do. So we went there for breakfast, and then we got off the ship a little later. I think Barbados, you didn't arrive until like 10 a.m. So we were one of the first ones off just because of being in the Haven, but it was a little bit later. So got off and got the cheapest taxi of the entire trip. I believe it was either $5 or $10 per person round trip to Carlisle Bay. And kind of like before, ChatGPT said this is the best beach in Barbados, and it was great. We arrived there, and there is, I don't know, like restaurant, bar, chair rental place called Harbor Lights. I'd really recommend that just to do that every time. It looks like you could actually book in advance, like your chairs and umbrellas, which we had no problem finding chairs and umbrellas. However, you may have a chance of like picking like a front row seat, because when we got there, we obviously didn't have anything reserved, and they told us like, oh, like those chairs down there, they don't, anything like without a name, piece of paper taped to the umbrella is open. And of course all the chairs like up in the front had names reserved on them. It wasn't bad. We were like in the second or third row, I believe, so wasn't too bad. Carlisle Bay was, I would say, one of the more lively beaches. Barbados and St. Martin probably take those awards. There's just a lot going on. I do know that there was, or is, a big like shipwreck near Carlisle Bay, or just like, you know, in the deeper waters of Carlisle Bay, that a lot of cruise excursions go and snorkel to. So you see a lot of boats out there. You see a lot of just like snorkeling, like the place that we rented our stuff from advertised like, oh, go snorkel and see, was it turtles or manatees? One of those, or stingrays. I don't really remember. But we just opted not to do it. But of course, like every other beach, they had other stuff too. They had jet skis. They had those big boats that you ride that are inflatable that you get like tugged around by either like a jet ski or another like speedboat. And then there was like a trampoline as well. So lots of just random things to do at Carlisle Bay, but nothing crazy. We just had another nice beach day. We were very close to the equator from the sounds of it, and Braden forgot to put sunscreen on his back and shoulders. This was the day that absolutely wrecked him. I'm pretty convinced he got a little bit of sun poisoning because he was pretty miserable later that night. So, lesson learned to him, never forget sunscreen. Even though he fake baked before we left. But yeah, we went to Carlisle Bay. I believe, I don't remember if we ate anything there. I don't believe we did because it was a little pricey. It was like over $20 for like a burger. And I just think we said, let's just snack when we get back on the ship. And that was a-okay. Oh yes, that's what we did. We went back on the ship and went to the buffet. That was a one-time I went to the buffet just to see like what Indian food they had out, because Braden and I are big Indian food fans, and it wasn't anything crazy. I tried some of it, and he didn't end up trying any of it because he didn't like what was out. It was some sort of fish that was out. But that night we went to the ice bar, which is something I don't see on like any other cruise ship except the Epic, which is kind of fun. It is freezing in there. I think he said -17. I don't feel like that's right now I say that, but it was in the negatives. And I didn't really think this through, but I literally wore sandals in there. I don't know why. That wasn't very smart of me. But they gave us like coats to wear. I almost felt like I showed Braden like Katniss from the Hunger Games when they're like walking through the Capitol, and her and I'm blanking on his name, Liam Hemsworth character, they're wearing like those big hoods as they're walking towards the Capitol building. That's what I felt like. It was kind of fun, but it was, I believe, was it 18 a person? It's either 14 or 18 a person to do the ice bar, and or maybe it was 28. No, I don't really know. It wasn't crazy considering it was a 30-minute experience and you got 2 drinks when you were in there. And the drinks were good. I know one of them that Braden had, he said was pretty strong. So, we, I think, probably lasted in there for about 20 minutes. We were one of the last ones in there, though. I think part of it was because we're from Iowa. We're kind of used to cold. There were definitely people in there who were not from cold areas. So they lasted, like, they got their 2 drinks down and they left. But it was cool. I enjoyed it. Something new. Like, you don't really see on a cruise ship is an ice bar. And I've never done an ice bar. So when in Rome, might as well try it. But that night we just kind of chilled. It was a pretty chill, like there wasn't a show going on or anything like that. So we just kind of took the opportunity to relax a little bit. I'm sure, knowing us, we were in the Haven Bar, chatting up Storm. This was the night, or no, this would have been the next night. I don't remember. One of the nights I went to bed like very early because I was exhausted. But I think that was the next night. And Braden hung out in the Haven Bar without me and told everyone that he was proposing. But I don't think it was this night. I think it's the next night. But yeah, that's a pretty chill recap. We didn't do a whole lot, and that's a-okay. But we did really like the Barbados. That's a cool place. Definitely if a cruise ever goes back there, we'd stop again. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.